Om Shanti. Good morning. Diamond morning. Baba's Murli. Today is the 1st of February 2022. In the essence, Baba says, sweet children, the biggest personality of all is the whole cycle. In the whole cycle is this Brahma. The Father enters him, and you have to follow him. Question: what special virtue of Bap and Dada do you children have to imbibe? Answer: the Father is incorporeal and egoless, and Dada, although in a corporeal form, is constantly egoless. Whilst being such a big personality, he remains so simple. On the one hand, this one is the container of Baba, the highest on high, who makes you into diamonds. And on the other hand, you say that this one is the oldest of all, the long boat whom the Father enters. Both are present to serve you children. You children have to follow the Father and serve whilst being egoless in the same way. And the song of Baba's Murli. Salutations to Shiva. Om Shanti. Whose praise did you children hear? All the children would say that the highest on high is God and that his name is Shiva. It is said, salutations to Shiva. The people of Bharat know this, and they also celebrate the birthday of Shiva. They sing a lot of praise too. You are the mother and father. However, it is just for the sake of saying it that they say salutations to Shiva, because no one in the world knows how he is the mother and father, or how he gives the inheritance. This one is a wonderful personality. Shiv Baba is incorporeal. What would Shiv Baba do until he takes a body? Shiv Baba is incorporeal. They sing praise of the incorporeal one. His place of residence is the highest of all. Which place? The incorporeal world. Then, what is the place of residence of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar? The subtle region. The residence of the whole of the world mother is this corporeal world. Everyone knows that the world mother would have to be a resident of this place. Jagat means the human world. Her name, Jagadamba, world mother, is very good. But who is she? Where did she come from? They don't know anything. From where can they receive her introduction? it must definitely be received from a human personality, whom the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul can enter. Incorporeal souls enter corporeal personalities, in brackets, bodies. Although animals too have souls, there is no praise of them. Which personality is remembered? Incorporeal Shiv Baba. Until he enters the personality, he cannot do anything. Until a soul receives a personality, in this context, the personality Baba is saying is the body, he cannot play his part. There isn't such, Baba says, there isn't praise of just the personality. There isn't praise of just the personality. There is praise of the personality when a soul enters it. The Father says, everyone praises me as the purifier, but I too need a human body that I can enter. He cannot do anything without a body. So the Father comes and takes a body. He doesn't enter a womb. The birthday of Shiva is also remembered, but they don't know which body Shiv Baba entered or when he came. Okay, he came in the night, but they don't know which body he entered. They remember the lucky chariot, and so it would definitely be a human personality. The personality whom the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul enters is such a high personality. You now know that Shiv Baba cannot enter any personality other than Brahma. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, comes and creates the human world through Brahma. When Bharat becomes very unhappy and degraded, the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul enters this personality, that is of Brahma, and makes you happy and elevated. Even Shiv Baba cannot do anything without this lucky chariot. Someone is needed. This is Shiv Baba's personality, in brackets, body. If this one weren't here, you would be unable to receive the inheritance from Shiv Baba. Brahma Baba and Trimurti Brahma are remembered. They say deity, deity, great deity. Why is the name of Brahma the highest of the three? Brahma exists here and Baba enters in his chariot. Vishnu and Shankar are called deities. Okay, should Brahma be called a deity? He is Brahma, the father of people. A human body is needed. It is remembered that the world is created through Brahma, the father of people. So, Brahmins would surely be created through the mouth of Brahma. Therefore, this one is such a big personality. And yet, he is so ordinary. This one, of course, referring to Brahma Baba. He is such a big personality, and yet, look how simple his way of living is. He is so egoless. He has come and is here to serve you. Look how he sits and teaches you. What are you studying? You would say that you are studying Raja Yoga. Who is teaching you? The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. Little ones, young ones, old ones, and mature ones are all studying. This is the godly college to change you. This is the godly college to change from humans into deities. That is, to become the masters of the world. We have come here. Why have we come here? Apart from becoming the masters of the world, Baba says we have come here to study and claim the sovereignty of the world, then the masters of the world, or the sovereignty of the world. Baba says we have come here to study and claim the sovereignty of the world. There were no other religions or kingdoms when Lakshmi and Narayan used to rule the world. There was just the land of Bharat. Look how you are sitting here to reclaim that status once again. You cannot become the masters of the world, and Bharat cannot become Shivalaya without you studying this. Shiv Baba is remembered as the incorporeal and egoless one. How can he show you, how can he show how egoless he is? Unless he enters a personality, in this context, a body. There is so much praise. The immortal image, however, however, it isn't that he can bring the dead back to life. You children should have a lot of intoxication. What intoxication should we have? That the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is teaching you. He is teaching you Raja Yoga through Brahma, the father of the people. No one except Brahma can be called the father of people. It isn't that either Shiva or Vishnu is the father of people. No. Only Brahma is the father of the whole human world, whereas the father of souls is Shiva. However, no one knows the Father. No one knows his own soul. They speak of a pure and charitable soul and a sinful soul. So why do they then say, I am the Supreme Soul? There is so much deceit. You children know that 5,000 years ago, there was peace, purity, and prosperity. The Father says, I come and give you all the knowledge. Previously, you didn't know anything, and how you know everything. And now you know everything, sorry. The biography of the Father can only be known from the Father. How can the incorporeal one have a biography? There can only be a biography when he enters a corporeal body. There cannot be a biography of just a soul. It is only when a soul enters a body and takes birth that there can be a biography. Those people speak of 8.4 million species. The Father says, there aren't 8.4 million birds. Those are all lies. The Father himself says, I entered a body of Brahma and explain the essence of the Vedas and scriptures to you. Together with that, I teach you Raja Yoga and also explain the secrets of the Creator and the beginning, the middle, and the end of creation to you. Since the Rishis and Munis did not know this themselves, how could their children know? Therefore, look how ordinary the greatest personality of all is. The Father is the one who makes you into the highest on high diamonds. This one is the container. Brahma Baba is the container of this diamond. Whether you call him a chariot or an old shoe, he is the oldest shoe of all. When the soul first comes, he is absolutely number one. Sri Narayan would be placed as number one. In addition, Sri Lakshmi is also number one. They have taken rebirth. There is first the Sun dynasty and then the Moon dynasty. In this way, there has to be the calculation of 84 births of taking rebirth. No one could tell you about an account of 8.4 million births. Because of saying 8.4 million births, they have written that the duration of the cycle is hundreds of thousands of years. If it were hundreds of thousands of years, there would be many more Hindus in Bharat. However, this population is still less. The deity religion of Bharat has disappeared. No one can call him a deity because Baba says no one can call himself a deity. Why no one can call himself a deity? Baba says because they were full of all virtues. Deities were full of all virtues. They are not, Baba says, they are not that now. It is now the kingdom of Rama, not the kingdom of Rama. People of the world neither know the biography of Rama nor of Ravan. Day by day, Ravan's status continues to grow. The world continues to become impure, having come down from 16 celestial degrees. They have no degrees remaining. No one says, I am without virtues and I have no virtues. Have mercy on me. We were full of all virtues, 16 celestial degrees full. Bharat was at first the land of angels. They say it for the sake of saying it, but no one knows about the world cycle at all. The Father says, Maya has made your intellects degrading. However, people have so much pride in themselves. The Father says to you, children, sweet children, remember Rama, and you will become worthy of being threaded in the rosary. Of course, not Sita's Rama, but Baba himself. His name is Rama. Baba says, after the rosary of Rudra, there is the rosary of Vishnu. In the rosary of devotees, there is the praise of devotees. The rosary of Rudra then has to be threaded in the rosary of Vishnu. That is, all of those souls go into the kingdom of Vishnu. This knowledge is so elevated. Baba says there are two types of renunciation. That is Hatha Yoga renunciation. There can never be renunciation of action. Human beings cannot stay without doing anything. Even if they sit down doing their breathing exercises, they're still doing something. They practice yoga in so many different ways. That is not a Raja Yoga. That is limited renunciation, Hatha Yoga renunciation. The religion of Bharat is that of purity. However, there cannot be any other religion as pure as that of the deities. You don't have to renounce anything there because souls are pure and they also receive pure bodies. Alloy becomes mixed into the souls. While the degrees are decreasing, souls become impure. All souls are now iron-aged. All are ugly. When souls were pure, they were beautiful. Now that souls are impure, their bodies are also impure and ugly. The ugly and the beautiful one has been remembered. They make an ugly and beautiful picture of Krishna. All of you are the ones who were ugly, and you are now becoming beautiful. At first, Bharat was golden aged. It is now iron aged. Baba now sits you on the pyre of knowledge and makes you beautiful. If you want liberation and liberation in life, then cancel the bond of vices. Tie a rakhi of purity. That refers to this time when you become the children of Brahma. No one can come here without becoming a Brahmin. Going to Madhuban, that is. You are the most born creation of Brahma. Shiv Baba says, people sing praise of me, the incorporeal one, but what can I do until I take a body? I enter this one at the end of the last of his many births. Everyone now has to be destroyed. Establishment takes place through Brahma. Of what? The Iron Age is never established. It is the Golden Age that is established at the Confluence Age. The Father says, I come at the Confluence Age. For you Brahmins, this is the Confluence Age. Whereas for everyone else, it is the Iron Age. At this time, everyone is in extreme darkness. The Father comes and changes extreme darkness into extreme light. You children know this is something unique. Krishna is a small child. He cannot explain anything. The Krishna soul is in a different name and form in his last birth and is understanding everything from that one, referring to Shiv Baba the Supreme. This is why he is called the ugly and the beautiful one. Acha. Okay. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bapdana. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharana points to practice for today. Become as egoless and incorporeal as Bapdana. Serve everyone. Second point, tie a rakhi of purity for liberation and liberation in life. Sit on the pyre of knowledge. Baba's blessing for today. May you become an Avyakt angel and bodiless by applying a powerful break and going beyond any gross consciousness. And the explanation for this blessing. You can put a full stop in a second, even in the midst of a noisy atmosphere all around, and go beyond any gross consciousness. When you have fully applied the break, you will be said to be an Avyakt angel and bodiless. You need to practice this a lot now because natural calamities can come suddenly. At that time, do not let your intellect go anywhere else. Let it be simply the Father and I. Keep your intellect focused on where you want it to be. For this, you need the powers to accommodate and pack up, and you will then be able to go into the flying stage. The slogan for today: continue to eat the nourishment of happiness, and your mind and intellect will become powerful. Om Shanti. Baba's Murli continues today with invaluable elevated versions of Madheshwari. The theme: God's elevated directions are distinct from all the many types of directions in the world. And Mama explains, in the world there are three types of directions or dictates. Dictates of the mind, dictates of the gurus, and dictates of the scriptures. This is something to think about. The dictates of one's mind, the dictates of gurus, and the dictates of the scriptures are all dictates of souls. They are neither dictates of the deities nor of God. Even when you receive directions from deities, those are also directions from human beings. But deities are filled with all virtues. 16 celestial degrees full. They do not need directions from any gurus or scriptures. They don't even need gurus. Gurus are adopted to receive salvation. Those who are in a lesser state, brackets, than of salvation, can adopt gurus. However, in the golden and silver ages, there is no lesser state. So, there is no need to adopt gurus. In fact, the true guru is one God who comes here at the end of the drama to grant salvation to all souls. All others are gurus in name, only because no human being can show any soul the path to liberation or liberation in life. Deities have also changed from human beings to deities, but it isn't that they have a third eye or that they have 4 arms. People think that deities are different from human beings. Yes, they are different. And that is because they are 16 celestial degrees full. They were very pure. Their sanskars were very pure. But they were human beings like human beings. When human beings have divine virtues, they are called deities. We are receiving these directions from God. So we are not following human dictates or the dictates of gurus. We are following God's directions. Definitely God's directions are elevated compared to the dictates of souls. Acha. Such a beautiful lesson. Om Shanti.